Aloha snack bar, everyone. It's the one and only the Super Simeon alongside the main man, the one, the only Bix Weir, the Pathfinder, the Turkey Hunter on the road to Ruda, the Sultan of Silver, the Gandalf of Gold, the one and only Baron of Bitcoin. He is here. He's the thriller who is not from Manila. Bix from the road to Ruda. What's up, buddy? How are you?
I like
What a com.
I like that you call me the turkey hunter because I've literally shot one animal in my life, and it was a turkey.
Oh,
And
really?
it's not like it was not the kind of turkey like you see in the grocery store, all pumped full of hormones and juicy and lots of
Oh,
meat.
horrible.
This thing had, I mean, the regular
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
turkeys out there. My dad has a ranch. The regular turkeys out there have very, very little meat, but I skinned it and ate it, and because it's the only animal I ever shot, and hopefully will be the only animal I'll ever have to shoot. And yeah, I'm a turkey hunter.
So you mean to tell me these birds are just faking the funk that they're just mostly feathers?
Well, a normal turkey out there, and well, at least in Northern California, doesn't really look like the turkeys you see on the Thanksgiving movies and those plump suckers that you see in the grocery store. It's obviously it's a different kind of turkey,
Sure.
but still, it's a turkey, and I had like two tiny little turkey breasts, and that's pretty much all the meat I got from it.
Wow. Did it taste the same at least, or was it a little more
Tastes like
game?
chicken. Tastes a little gamier. Tastes like
Doesn't
chicken.
everything taste like chicken?
It does. It does.
I had alligator when I was in Florida. It tastes like chicken.
Yeah.
It was
Even
delicious.
even chicken tastes like chicken these days.
This is very true. This is very true. And God knows how things will progress with genetically modified chicken in the long.
Yeah.
So this weekend, I mean tomorrow, you're gonna head up into the woods of Compton in Los Angeles.
I'm in Northern California, dude.
You're
So far away from Compton.
gonna be doing drive-bys, shooting turkeys in the hood.
I live near the hood, not in the hood, near the hood. In Oakland, not Compton, Oakland. 500 miles away from each other.
Oh man, hey, I forgot to ask you this. Are you a Raiders fan?
Hell yes. Oh my God. Good night last night. That's why my voice is kind of screwed up.
That's what
They played
I just
they
needed
played
to
in
ask.
Mexico.
I know. You were probably going crazy,
Oh,
huh?
we had a tailgater in my buddy's backyard. His backyard is like he's in Oakland. It's not the greatest backyard, but he's set it up in this like it's a dirt patch, and everybody's got their lawn chairs, and he's got outdoor TV, and we're all screaming and yelling and pissing off the neighbors. It's great fun.
Man, I don't know who's worse, you Raiders fans or the Buffalo Bills fans. I don't
We're
know
a
who's the
hardy bunch. We're a hardy bunch.
Hardy. That's a calm way of putting it, man.
No, I don't. I
Bro,
don't. I don't dress up in like the full Raider gear with
I
the
could picture
spikes
you,
and the.
dude. I could totally picture you with that. That's like your Road Warrior outfit, you know?
Oh yeah. I wear my black Raider gear, but I don't go that crazy.
That's it. You don't go with the face paint.
No, but I get friends who do, and they love it, and especially, I mean, it's been what 10 years since they've been a winning team, and now they just look great. I love it.
Hmm.
But they barely eke out every game. If you watch the games, it's not like they're blowing out anybody. They just always end up with a win this year. It's unbelievable.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I guess we can start off the program. Do we have anything on Deutsche Bank today? It's been pretty quiet. I mean,
No, they're on hold right now, and there will be when the insanity slows down. Right now, everything's on hold until Trump hopefully gets into the White House. Well, even if he goes to the White House, Ivanka or not Ivanka, what's his wife's name? What's that
Melania.
first? Yeah,
Melania.
Melania. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, Melania. Ivanka's his daughter. Who's absolutely.
Melania has decided not to go to the White House. She's going to hang out at Trump Tower, and she'll go when she's needed, which is
Exactly.
cool. I mean, who follows her husband to work and lives in the same building he works in? Very few people.
Who does that? It's
Yeah.
just
Just another sign that this is a brand new change of the leadership, and they're firing, what was it, 500 of Obama's staffers, which
oh,
Clinton would have kept them all and then hired 500 more of her own, because
yeah.
they both work half. They all work for the Clinton foundations. So, which
Exactly.
I heard the Clinton Foundation, like, nobody is donating anymore. They don't even want to get within 1,000 miles of that criminal conspiracy because they'll get dragged down too. Because they'll get dragged down too.
Yeah, of course, it's radioactive. There's some news out saying that Trump's not going to go after Clinton. I don't think so.
Yeah. He won't go after. He won't go after for the email stuff.
Emails.
There's a list of crimes that you can go after for, but they're not talking about. They're going to go after the foundation, and the foundation's 50 times deeper into this stuff.
Oh yeah, and from what I hear, and I think your sources have also confirmed the same thing. There's a whole litany of the G-men converging in Arkansas to go take a look at the foundation, my friend.
And I was also, I mean, if you look at the Clinton body count, there was, I think there was 3 more since the election. There's been 3 more deaths.
Oh, dude, are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, it's like a weekly occurrence. They don't even report on it anymore because, there's so many, and they're not going to charge the Clintons for anything.
Anybody in particular? I mean, anybody stand out to you?
The one I heard about was another IT guy.
Great. Okay. So this is kill the engineers.
It's over 60. There's a website that I think it's always updated. I forgot what it was. Just all you have to do is Google Clinton body count, and you're gonna see the list. I don't know if it was updated the last time it was updated, but it was a Clinton staffer who died a mysterious death again.
I mean, this just happens. Like, who'd want to work for these people? From what I hear, is Huma is back in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. From what I'm hearing.
Well, she should be. She better get the hell out of Dodge. Just like when they shipped all the Saudis. They never said if Huma got shipped back to Saudi Arabia during 9/11. I would suspect she was on one of those planes. The no-fly zone was up, and then they basically flew all these Saudis out of the country while the no-fly zone was still up.
Yeah, exactly. I remember that whole entire thing. It was incredible. I mean, the whole country was outraged because of that whole entire. Like, how do you ground all the aircraft, but all of a sudden the Saudis are allowed to fly out? It's dirty fingerprints all over the place, man. The Saudis is a horrible situation.
Well, it's all kind of they're all linked together in this game. It all stems from follow the money. It's the petrodollar, the way it was set up by Kissinger in the early 70s. We've talked about this before.
How many times?
But yeah, I mean, the Saudis were set up to rig the price of oil, reinvest all the money that the U.S. gave them, sell oil only in dollars to keep the U.S. dollar strong, and it's all part of the game. And everybody skimmed off the top of that, including the Clinton Foundation. And yeah, it's all true. All the conspiracy rumors are true, and that's 99% of what I deal in is taking things like the gold and silver market and analyzing it on the conspiracy side. Who's doing it, how they're doing it, why they're doing it, and stuff like that. That's more interesting than anybody can say, oh, a silver market went up today because of the demand in Hong Kong. And I mean, it's all complete bullshit. It went up because the guy in the basement of the Treasury clicked a mouse that said, hey, bring the silver price up 10 cents or down $1. It's all done with computers and derivatives. That's all it's done with. That's all you need.
Correct. 1,000%, man. Which brings us to a little bit more of the talking points today, man. I mean, Trump in good guys versus the bad guys.
Oh, my God. If anybody says to me, oh, there are no good guys, I'm going to punch him in the nose. I'm so sick of, for 15 years, for 10 years, I've been saying there are good guys. And for the 5 years before that, I said there are no good guys. But once you figure it out, who these good guys are and how they're doing, Trump is working for the good guys. I've said it a million times, and look what he's doing. The latest thing, he pulled all the media, all the big wigs from the media, brought them up to his office. They're all like, oh, yeah, we finally get access to the president. We're getting
access.
We're going to show them, how this game works because, they don't have experience, putting together a staff and how to deal with the media. So he gets all these, I mean, the biggest names out there,
the head of CNN, the whole yards.
And head of CNN and Maria Bartiromo, you name it, they were up there. They sit down and
A
Trump,
conference room table.
the conference room table, Trump
40 people.
absolutely goes off and rips them a new one.
Yep.
Rips. Everybody said it was like a firing squad. He was just going down person by person, just absolutely ripping them to shreds. You're a liar, you're a cheater, and you're not going to do it anymore. I will talk to the press if you're going to report the truth. If you don't report the truth, I'm coming after you. Unbelievable stuff. And I just love that. That's a classic Trump. That's a classic Trump.
It is.
He'll hug you. He'll hug you. He'll bring you in his office. You're feeling all cool, and then he'll just rip you a new one.
Yep. And then you walk out of there like a small child.
Oh, yeah. When they walked out, basically the message was, I know what the mainstream media is doing. I know who controls you. You treated me like crap, and that's going to stop now. And when you walk out of this, we're going to have a reset of everything. And I better be dealt with in a true manner as the president of the United States. You better speak the truth, or I'm coming after you.
That's it. 1,000%. Like a boss. Like a boss. I mean, this guy, he literally ripped him a new one. And I saw the pictures, bro, of Blinky. What's his name again? Wolf Blitzer.
Wolf Blitzer.
Yeah, Wolf Blinky
Howitzer. He loves
Howitzer. Wolf Schmitzer,
Yeah, Jeff Zucker, the head of CNN, apparently got it the worst.
All their faces, that lady, Robin, whatever her name is from Good Morning America, all of them walking into Trump Towers, all smiling, because, oh, we have access. Here we have access. And we're going to tell him how this whole entire game works and how the press conferences should be run, and we'll mitigate to him what's going to be selling to the public. And then you look at their faces after that meeting, where Trump literally ripped them a new a-hole. And they walked out of Trump Towers, the look of dejection and despair, knowing that the honeymoon is over, knowing that their entire grasp of this whole entire power thing that they've been running a monopoly on for how many decades? They walked out of there like they got kicked in the groin. I mean,
because they did. If they had a groin, they got kicked in it.
Oh, it was bad. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty, man. It was wonderful. And dude, this is exactly what you and I have been saying. Like, you've discovered this early on about this whole battle with the good guys and bad guys. I started figuring it out little by little, and I wasn't until I connected with you that a lot of the pieces started to fit. I'm like, oh, now it makes sense, because I had some of the pieces. I had and it was all like Swiss cheese, and you filled in a lot of the holes. And I'm saying to myself, crap, man, this is exactly what's happening, because you cannot look at this system. And, I get on the phone with my guys over in London, over in Hong Kong, and, when I'm expecting something bad to happen, all of a sudden there's a pullback, and these guys will tell me, oh, there's forces at play here. And I'm like, I didn't know what those were, because you'd think that, well, it's all bad guys, and it's the bad guys manipulating the bad guys, and anything good happens is because of the bad guys, and anything bad happens is because of the bad guys. There's nothing in this world but the bad guys and the devil incarnate. That's it. That's a bunch of horse crap, man. It really is. And I think this election cycle is a smack in the face for everyone. Dude, people that are still holding on to this bad guys paradigm and they control everything, they have nothing else to talk about. They don't know how to deal with it anymore, bro.
I agree. And although I would caveat, one, that the battle's not over, and two, there are good guys, but there's no external savior who's going to save us. These good guys are us. They are working their best, doing their best to take down the way the bad guy system works. You're going to see a lot more of this before January 20th. And then after the January 20th, there'll be no more false flags. There'll be none of that crap. These guys will be taken out. If there's anything that goes on false flag-ish, it will be a real thing. It won't be, planned and orchestrated by the bad guys and all that. So, yeah, and if they try to do it, if they pull the real thing, Trump and the people working with Trump will go and actually do an investigation, actually arrest people who are in it, no matter how high their station. If it's a George Soros or Rockefeller or Rothschild run event, they're going to take them down. They're going to drag them in front of the guillotine and take care of it. That's the big difference that's coming. We're not going to have any more, fake mass shootings like Sandy Hook or that the LGBT nightclub. all that stuff is staged, and
Right.
it is allowed to happen by these bad guys that control our government, or controlled our government. All that's going to go away. You know,
Right.
if there's a big attack, that's going to be a big real attack, not a staged false flag. And whoever does that attacking, they're really going to go after. I still think Trump's going to reopen the 9/11 case and take down everybody who was involved, including Uma Abedin and her involvement. She was involved in it too. If you go back, oh my God, it's unbelievable how many people.
Is the one who helped to fund her consultation company.
Oh yeah, I mean, and they're all involved in it. And you can get, you know, the Bushes and the Clintons working together involved in it, type of thing.
Right.
And that's what has ended. If Trump can get into office and stay in office, we're hoping, you know, without being taken out by, you know, Bush Senior's partner in oil, you know, the John Hinckley Jr. If that type of thing doesn't happen, then we're looking at, you know, a real United States of America with real laws, and the good guys will have won. And you're going to see a lot of suicides coming up because of various things, but a lot of these guys are going to get outed, and they have no idea. I mean, even the 500 people that are getting fired, probably 250 of them are, you know, extreme radical Muslims, but of those people who are getting fired, they don't know what to do. The Clinton Foundation obviously is not hiring. You know, their name is already run through the mud because they're associated with these criminals, which will get exposed. The foundation will get exposed, and the foundation's knee deep in a lot of really bad stuff.
It really is, and that's why when he said he's not going to go after Hillary Clinton on he said what? The emails. Okay, and that's what people need to understand. There is a very big thing here at play that people should not all of a sudden, you know, get all. Look, he's lying. He's going back on his promises. Nah, give him time. This is exactly. Remember the first debate where he purposely acted like a gentleman. He purposely allowed her to like have like have the impression of having the one-upsmanship.
Yep.
It's the same thing again. He's making them rest on their laurels and breathe a sigh of relief. And then after January 20th, boom, when Obama's out and he can do whatever the hell he wants to do, the hammer's going to fall.
He just wants to play golf and go to, you know, Jeffrey Epstein's island. That's all he wants to do.
Obama?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't want Jeffrey Epstein's. He likes to, you know.
He is needy.
He wants to be in a limo, man. He just wants to be in a limo, driving around in Chicago, being serviced by male prostitutes. That's all he wants. That's his style.
He like, you know, Joe Biden and all those guys are knee deep in the pizza.
Joe Biden is creepy, man. Do you see the way he touches kids?
Oh my! It is so. Let's go there, because I don't want to stay on that topic very long. It just makes me ill every time I think about it or talk about it. But if anybody hasn't done your research, just go online and Google Pizzagate and Comet Ping Pong Pizza, and you're gonna feel ill after about 5 minutes. About
I was vomiting, man. I think my buddy Sean over at SGT Report did an awesome job keeping the fires burning, and he's on the forefront of that with this whole entire Pizzagate thing, and especially the Podesta, with an emphasis on PED, the Podesta brothers, and their involvement with the kidnapping of
Madeleine McCain.
Yeah, Madeleine McCain
in Portugal. They
were there. It has been confirmed that the Podesta brothers were in Portugal the same week that Madeleine McCain went missing. They were staying at Clement Freud's house.
Yeah, Freud's house, and he's a pedophile. It's not only pedophilia that these people are doing, and this goes to the highest levels of government, the U.S. government, Bushes, Clintons, Obamas, all of them are involved. It's so disgusting and so angry, but it's not only pedophile. It's child trafficking.
Sure.
It's ritual sacrifice.
Correct.
Unbelievable. It's just so appalling that you just can't get your head around it. And then you look at the evidence and how all these things link up, and it's like, it was going on right in front of our face the whole time.
And did you hear that so-called stand-up comic who was there, Comet Ping Pong, talking about kids and babies and stuff like that? Dude, if I found out who that person is, I would put their head into a wood chipper. Like, I would throw them into a wood chipper. It was disgusting. I was so angered by that. I was so angered by the fact that some people leaked the footage on Twitter. Not the footage, but actually the photographs of some of the artwork that was hanging in that place. Have you seen the artwork? It is deplorable.
Well,
It is.
in
It is.
Podesta's all over Podesta's house as well.
Yeah, 1,000%. I'm telling you, I swear to you, I promise any listener, if I see Podesta, John Podesta walking around here in New York, I will take a swing at him. He better hope he has security with him. I can't stand the guy. Like, there's no guaranteeing what I would do to the guy. I seriously don't, like, I just can't. Like, as a red-blooded American, I just cannot stand that stuff, man.
But you look at, I mean, that little, it's such a foul area. That Comet Pizza right next door is this place called Buck's Fishing and Camping. Well, it has this guy with this big old knife, cutting into this slab of meat. It is just, and then two doors next to that is Besta Pizza with a pedophile symbol on it, and then right across the street is the Clinton Foundation's group Beyond Borders, where they supposedly are helping transport children out of Haiti for the good of the kids, but no one knows where they go. Absolutely, it's so hard to even think about or talk about. But everybody in America needs to do their own due diligence on this. All you have to do is do a little search on Google for all this stuff, and you can find it. You can learn about it. Don't close your eyes to it because you have to know it. Just say with an open mind, say, do these dots connect? And if they do connect, think of the ramifications of all this. And that is why Comey dropped the charges at the last second. What if he said, oh, well, by the way, we have her for pedophilia, we have her for ritual sacrifice, we have her for child abduction, and we got her for the emails too, and all the murders. I mean, if Trump is now saying that he's not gonna prosecute Hillary, I don't really think that Hillary is really alive these days. There's a lot of talk of body doubles and all that. If she is alive, she's not in good shape. And
did you see the last press conference she did? She looked like death, man.
Well, if you want to get onto the conspiracy side, and nobody really has to listen to this part, but they make these body clones apparently up in the upper echelon of the government, and the only problem with the body clones is they age a lot faster because of the way their DNA is structured. Now, don't believe me; it's no big deal. I don't believe it either, but just watching how fast this latest Clinton went from perfectly pristine to looking 20 years older the next couple of days, that kind of makes sense to me.
God, the black and blue splotches all over her face, the puffy eyes, the wrinkles, her flat, dead hair.
I mean, just take a look at for the last 3 months, ever since she went down on 9/11.
Yeah.
Take a look at each time she comes into view of the public. She used a lot of the green screens. We already went over that. But look at the pictures. It's like every picture is like a different person. All of a sudden, there's this perfectly, pristine person. She looks like, she's in her mid-40s to someone who looks like she's, died and been, stuck on ice for a while. I'm not even going to go there. If anybody wants to do research on that stuff, I do think there will be a lot of kind of hidden technologies that will be released as well when Trump gets into office, because they've been hiding a lot of stuff, especially on the energy side and the ability to make people better. The whole health industry is a money game. They get you sick because they want you sick. They don't cure you. They want you, on their statin drugs and all that stuff. There is new technology that has been around a long time that, if you look deep enough, there will be a lot of things that will be released. Hopefully, if Trump really is going to do what he says he said he wants to do, he wants to drain the swamp. One, drain the swamp, get all the bad guys out of there, and two, make America great again. What an easier way to do that than release free energy technology to every citizen in the United States. Yes, people would lose their job, but you've also have free energy, and it would free people up from paying a lot of their bills, and it would free them up of, when the monetary system crashes, we're going to get to start fresh, start over. There'll be no more debt. That's right. The biggest thing that chokes us today is debt. So yeah, you can make America great again by erasing all the debt. And you can erase all the debt. All you have to do is back out of rigging the markets.
Right.
because every market will crash, and then the derivatives will kick in, and then everything is wiped clean. And
Right.
hopefully Trump will do that. I think if he doesn't do it before, I don't think he has the full power yet, because they're obviously rigging silver and gold every day now.
Yeah.
So he would be the guy in charge of the exchange stabilization fund, and that's where all the money comes from to rig markets. And so he can pull the plug on January 21st if he chose to. And you don't even have to. It's not about making the markets crash. It's about removing the artificial support from the markets.
Right. Exactly.
So that's where I'm looking for the next potential crash. But if Trump goes ahead and keeps rigging the markets, that's the key. That's where the bad guys. That's the source of their power is the free money that they get from the system that they set up. If you take that away, there are no bad guys, because no one's going to do their dirty work for them.
Right. Now, which brings us to the next thing, man. The U.S. Mint stopping the 2016 Silver Eagle production early. What in the world is going on?
Well, I've been on this issue since 2008, 2007, right around then, when the U.S. Mint, even before that, the U.S. Mint decided, when silver was going crazy and everybody was wanting the Silver Eagles, the U.S. Mint illegally stopped production of the Silver Eagles and put it on. They stopped, and then they put it on allocation. Both are illegal because, according to the U.S. Silver Eagle law and laws, they've changed it a few times. They have to produce Silver Eagles in, quote, quantities sufficient to meet public demand. That is,
sure.
And it was written that way for a purpose. It's not like that for gold. Gold and silver are dealt with very differently in the Eagle, American Eagle program. The gold, for some reason, has to be sourced from a U.S. mine, and that's the only gold they can use. And I know the reason. There's all kinds of secret gold treaties between other nations. So for gold, if you run out domestically of gold, you can say, okay, I'm just going to stop gold eagle production. And silver, it's the opposite. Silver, they have to buy silver in the open market no matter what the price is. That's what the law says. And they can't stop minting the Silver Eagles. It is illegal for them to stop minting this stuff. And I've written 20 articles. And they did change the law a little bit, in that they said the Treasury Secretary is the one who determines if they're producing quantities sufficient to meet public demand. But it doesn't change the law just because Jack Lew says, okay, stop making Silver Eagles because we're running out of silver. It doesn't change the law. The law is still in quantity sufficient to meet public demand, and Jack Lew is the decider. And as the decider, you have a responsibility to decide fairly whether or not they are meeting public demand. And if you look at the Silver Eagles for 2016, half of the year they were on allocation, meaning that the authorized participants could not order all they want. They could not get quantities sufficient to meet public demand. And then in July, they took them off the allocation finally, and then the prices started going up in September, October, and November. And in November, I mean, we had already done, halfway through the month, we'd already done 2 million coins, which is it was going to be up to 4 to 5 million coin month, which is a huge month. And then last Friday, they cut it off. Not Friday before last, or no, it was last Friday. They called their authorized participants and said, we have stopped making Silver Eagles. And everybody's like, oh yeah, they stopped, but they always do it this time of year. They don't always do it this time of year. That's the biggest lie, because they do it in mid-December, not mid-November. And I'm jumping up and down. I'm saying, we're talking a month and a half to change dies and retool for the 2017 coins. I mean, it's ridiculous what they've done. So
it's totally normal, Bix. It happens all the time.
So all the coin dealers love it because they jack their premiums up. They get an extra $1 a coin, extra $2 a coin, because there's this false sense of scarcity with the Silver Eagle program. And it's not false, because it's true. The U.S. Mint is not producing these coins. And I have a contact deep within the Mint, my deep Mint contact, and I called him up, I rarely talk to this guy, but I called him up. I said, all right, what's the scoop? What's going down?
Mm-hmm.
And should I be really pissed and write more letters to the mint, or is something else going on? And he's like, something else going on. And I said, well, can you give us a hint as to what's happening? And here's the basics of it. Now, I'm going to write this up in my Friday road trip for this week. But the basics of it is that the U.S. Mint is changing what they're going to do traditionally with next year's Silver Eagles. Traditionally, you get to the next year, the mint shuts down a couple weeks before the end of the year in mid-December, and then they make their next year's coins with the new date on them. Same design, just a new date. And they release them to the public mid-January to late January, and they start releasing them on allocation because everybody's excited about the new year. So that's the way it had always been done in the past. He said this year is completely different. We had to shut down the mint a month early because we are going to start releasing the 2017 Silver Eagles on January 3rd, and with no allocation. So you can order as many coins as you want and get delivered, and they'll have a month of stockpile. Supposedly that's, is my guy in the know? He's not the decider. I can tell you that, but he knows a lot, and that is because they didn't stop production of Silver Eagles. They actually ramped up production of the 2017 coins. So they just transferred production from 2016 to 2017. They're not selling any more 2016 because they sent out a call to all the authorized participants, which is the only people who can buy direct from the mint at like $2 over spot. And they gave them a chance to buy the remaining inventory of the 2016 coins, and they did it according to kind of how much each authorized participant usually buys. So they said, okay, if you want this amount, we're shutting down a month early. If you want this amount, it's yours. So, and apparently everybody bought it. So 2016 coins are all gone. Wow. And the coin dealers are loving it because they can jack the prices up, saying, "Oh, the mint is running out of silver, and they're not making the coins."
I mean, American Silver Eagle premiums are the highest amongst silver coins, man. That's why I always go the cheap route. I always get like Canadian maples.
Yeah, but here's my take on the American Eagle. The American Eagle is a coin. It is a currency also. If you look at the back and flip it over, it's the United States of America $1. That's a real $1 coming out of the U.S. Mint.
Right.
The Federal Reserve note is completely different. And
correct.
The concept when that comes into play is when there's a monetary crash. So you won't be able to go buy something in a store with a 1 ounce round. You're going to have to convert it into something. You will be able to go into a store and buy it with a 1 ounce Silver Eagle if we return to a gold and silver standard, which was the whole idea behind the program when it was started in 1987. It was Barney Frank who actually wrote the original law, and they left it open in silver that the U.S. government had to meet demand with any silver in the world. They have to go buy it. It is part of the law. They can't say, no, we're not going to buy silver because it's over $1,000 an ounce. They have to buy it. It's required. So, and that was all part of the plan on the end days of the U.S. The Federal Reserve note is ultimately that they can go in, buy all the Silver Eagles, drive the price of silver up to the moon, take out all the silver shorts, which is like, Deutsche Bank, JP Morgan, those guys. So that was always the plan. And given that on January 3rd, the U.S. Mint is changing everything it's done in the past, is stocking up for the January 3rd release date because there is no limit on the amount amount the authorized participants can buy. And then it's a whole new story, and it kind of reflects we got a whole new government coming in on January 20th too.
Right, exactly.
Just another sign that these things are actually happening, and I think 2017 will be the year that silver finally breaks free from the manipulation, if not sooner. I mean, there's a lot of kind of signs if you believe in that, the Economist Magazine year in 2016.
I was just about to ask you about the 2017 Economist Magazine cover.
I know.
Another cryptic cover by the Economist.
Oh, of course. It's like the last 3 years. Oh, there's many years in the past, going back to '87, where they had the one world government in 2018. And Sean loves that cover, and then the gold coin on there. But the last year, the year in 2016, a whole bunch of things happened that were on that cover, including the LGBT false flag attack.
Right,
Right on the 2016 cover.
Yeah, you're right. Damn it.
You see
Yeah,
the
the
guy with
rainbow.
the rainbow flag and all that?
Yeah. I remember.
And the inside cover with the stadium and the arrow right in the Brexit.
Ah, yes.
Right in the London flag. The only arrow, there's like 30 arrows and only one arrow hit, and it's right in the London flag. And then you
Is
have
that
that.
magazine out now? Is it
Is
out
that
now?
what?
Is the Economist, is that cover out right now in the bookstores?
The old one or the new one?
No, the new one.
The new one, it's coming out any day. I got the cover of it from a friend.
Yeah.
And I posted it in last week's road trip, and I started my analysis. And the cover of the new one is a bunch of tarot cards. And if you want to talk briefly about that, we can go over I did an initial scan of it in my take. See, I always look at things as, how does that fit into the Road to Ruta analysis? The Road to Ruta meaning the good guys attempt to take out the bad guys and return us to sound money. That's what the Road to Ruta is all about, the comics that came out of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at this, and I'm like, all right, you got 8. Did you pull it up? You can pull up the picture. It's just Google 2017 cover Economist, the world in 2017, something like that. You'll find it. Anyway, it's 8 tarot cards, and one's the Tower, the Judgment, the World, the Hermit, the Death, Magician, Wheel of Fortune, and the Star. And I kind of did a little analysis of each one last week. And they're really interesting. If you look at them, all 8 of these cards have gold in them. Are you at that page now? Did you find it? Oh, no, V. Are you around? Hello. Hello. Are you there, V? Are you there, V? No, am I cut off? All right, I'll redo it. Hello. Hello. I don't know if it's you or me, V, but one of us is off. All right. Bix is back. I think we're back. Hello. You there, V? Are you there? Hello. Hello. Can anybody out there hear me? If you're on the chat. Oh, cool. Apparently I'm being heard somewhere. V has been, I don't know what's going on. He got dropped off. I don't know if this is being recorded, but I'll just keep going. Let's talk about the 8 cards. This is the cover of the Economist Magazine. There you are. Hello. Oh, man. Now it's looping. 8 cards. Hold on here. Cover of the Economist Magazine. There you are. Hello. Hey. Oh, man. Now it's looping. Oh. Hold on here. I'm gonna try to get V. There you go. Hello. Hey. All right. Can you hear me? I think I fixed part of the problem. I don't know where V is. We lost V. Can you hear me? Say something on the chat if you can hear me. Say yes, I hear you. Bix, you're there. Are you there? I can hear you. That's V. V said he can hear me. I can't hear you, V. I don't know if anybody else can. Can anybody hear V out there? I don't know if, hopefully, okay. I'm on, but V is, I don't know what he's doing. He fell into his dark roast. All right, let's talk about the cards real quick before they kick us off again. There's 8 cards, tarot cards, on the cover of the New Economist Magazine, The World in 2017. These 8 cards all have gold in them. The first one, the Tower, I've done a little analysis on it. It looks very scary, if you ask me. Just to start off, the obvious reference is possibly an attack on Trump Tower, but there's also the Russian Orthodox on the left and the Christianity on the right. It might be a splitting of those 2 religions. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of analysis that needs to be done on that. But the second card, the Judgment, is pretty clear if you ask me. And that's Donald Trump sitting on the world handing out his judgments. Those are happening right now. He is going to put the hammer down on the swamp in Washington, and he's an ass. Trump is a full-on ass when he needs to be. And I told a lot of people that I've worked with a guy that dealt with him directly, and he'll like give you a hug, bring you in close, agree with everything you say, and then at the end of the day, he's going to just go ballistic on you. And that's what happened to my buddy he was actually dealing with the end of lease for the Trump helicopter. Really interesting, but he got reamed. He's like, oh my God, it was like a completely different person. I think that's what happened to those to the media that was in Washington. Anyway, yeah, Trump's going to come down on them, hopefully. But my favorite card in this thing is the World. And if you guys are looking at the cover, just Google it, The World in 2017, tarot cards. You should see it. This magazine, I don't think it's out yet. I think it's out this week or next week. But the World, and if you look at the World, there's 3 buildings. There's the pyramid, there's the Capitol, and then there's the Federal Reserve. And all those are interlinked in that the Congress can at any time end the Federal Reserve with just signing a law that says, okay, we're reversing the Federal Reserve charter. I think it's already over anyway. But when you look at this, one, it's gold. The pyramid, everybody's like, well, what's the pyramid for? Flip the back of the $1 bill over and you'll see a pyramid on there too. I think this all goes back to the gold in the Grand Canyon and all the Egyptian pyramids that are in the Grand Canyon that have been hidden from the people of the United States. If you go onto my website, there's a article called Golden Secrets. And one of the biggest secrets is that the largest gold mine in the world was found in the Grand Canyon in the early 1900s. It had billions of ounces of gold back when in a time that gold was money, and there was only like I think it was 100 million or 30. It was 30 million ounces in the United States used as monetary gold, and then all of a sudden they find this this gold in the Grand Canyon. They announced it on the front page of the New York Times. It's all on my website. There's a picture of the whole article, and they said that this is going to blow away the world. Well, it would have. It would have devalued the currency massively. It would have caused major chaos. It would have concentrated the wealth into whoever controlled that gold. There was 50 million reasons for Woodrow Wilson to sign the Federal Reserve Act and to close off that part of the Grand Canyon, which is still closed off today. And then you've got the two masks there on the card. One's bright golden one, and one's the dark hidden one. The bright golden one is in front. I think it's going to be an opening of the Grand Canyon. And you look at the picture right in the middle there, it sure looks like a canyon to me. And then on the far left, that looks like the president's Book of Secrets. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that conspiracy story. And then you got other things going on, and the light at the shining. The sunlight is interesting because if anybody knows the GATA picture, the gold antitrust action picture, it's people charging the Federal Reserve with half of it's in sunlight and half of it's in dark. It's a great painting. Just go to GATA or Google GATA picture, and you'll see kind of something similar. And then if you want to go down the road to Ruta conspiracy, look up a Federal Reserve Bank of Boston comic book called Banking Basics. And in one of those pages, it has a picture very similar to this, except it's the Federal Reserve with an open door and in full sunlight shining on it. And then it shows all these pictures of people cashing in physical gold coins for cash in banks. I know it's conspiratorial. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes these days. I don't know if anybody's out there. Can you guys still hear me? Just if you can hear me, go onto the chat and say, hear you. I don't know if V is recording this. I don't know what happened to him. Oh, V said yes, or at least Rogue Money said yes. I don't know if it's V or someone who works with him. Yes, he's recording. I think he's having audio problems. This is like a great day when V can't speak. I'm sure this is eating him alive. All right, we'll keep going. So yeah, the World Tarot card is a huge one, and it absolutely fits right in with the Road to Ruta theory, all the gold there, and the gold on every card, really. And then the Hermit, the card right next to it, it's kind of scary. You see the people in gold walking through a canyon, again, the Golden Grand Canyon. But if you, and it's, the whole idea behind that card is that Trump is going to basically isolate the United States by shutting off all these trade agreements, which is fine. I mean, we need the manufacturing anyway. I always said when they crash the system, we're going to bring all our troops home and put them on our borders and kind of restart on our own because everybody will hate us because we destroyed the U.S. dollar. But the scariest thing in that picture is in the bottom right, and you see North America that's being split. That jives right along with Cliff High's work on the expanding Earth principle. I don't know if anybody has heard of that, but all live planets are expanding. They're getting bigger. And it's not what you were taught with plate tectonics, that everything's just shifting on molten lava. It's actually getting bigger because of the neutrinos from the sun are going into the center of the Earth, creating matter in the center of the Earth. And it doesn't kind of slowly go, gets a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger. It goes in kind of bursts and spurts. And there's talk that next year, because of a lot of the fracking stuff, because of a lot of reasons, that the pressure on the Earth is growing so much that there will be a crack and a split. And if that is true, and I don't know if it's true, I think it has a lot to do with the chemtrails. If you go to roadtoruta.com and look at resources, there's a paper on what the chemtrails are really doing. A lot of it has to do with blocking off the neutrinos from getting to the Earth so that it doesn't expand. There's some videos out there. Just look at, go to YouTube and look for expanding Earth, because everybody talks about Pangea, how all the land masses fit together on the Earth. And at one time they say, well, yeah, it was all one big continent called Pangea, and the rest of the Earth was water. Well, if you take the water away, Pangea fits together as well in a perfect ball. And there's some videos. I forgot the name of the guy. Just go to YouTube and say expanding Earth animation, and you'll see that it's almost every planet in our solar system. All the peaks and the high ground fits together perfectly when you shrink the planet. So it's clear that the planet is expanding and is growing, and from this card, it looks like that's what we'll be dealing with this year. And obviously that will cause massive troubles, and there would be no monetary system if something that big happened and crashed the system. Anyway, on to, let's see, the death one. That is kind of self-explanatory, except look at the little nuggets of gold in the ground in that death tarot card, and then the gold sun behind it, and then but it's red. So a lot of people are saying to analyze why that sun is red. Mosquitoes carrying a virus probably, or something like that, and it's just not a good card. And obviously the mushroom cloud, it going back to the cracked North American continent, if it cracks anywhere near some of the nuclear power plants along the larger rivers in the United States, then we have a gigantic problem, because those nuclear plants need water for the cooling, and if it takes the water and redirects it or changes it, then we're stuck with a nuclear power plant that will go nuclear, as they say. But let's not think that far ahead. The Magician, interesting stuff. It's virtual reality, cranking out houses. That is, I mean, if you read my third book, I talk about the end of money and the development of 3D printing and how that can change. They're already able to print, food and different inputs, and they can, at the end of the day, 3D printing will be able to create anything we want it to create, even houses, if you go on a big enough scale, because once you have the blueprints of where every atom, every molecule, every piece of wood, every nail goes, then you can create it. Theoretically, it is not impossible, and things that aren't impossible, we traditionally found out ways to do it. So yeah, that's the cover. There's a lot more. The Wheel of Fortune thing has to do with all the Trump-like and Brexit-like things that are going on in other countries, in France and in Germany. When Merkel goes, Merkel's evil. Oh, she's just horrible. And Merkel has single-handedly destroyed Germany by opening the borders to anybody and everybody, just what Clinton wanted to do. But luckily, Trump stopped her. But the word is, from whoever has money in Germany is moving to South America, because there is no way out of their mess, and we'll see what happens. So that is the word, and I don't think I'm going to get V back, but I've got like 5 more minutes. I can tell you the other topic that we were going to cover. We covered the Pizzagate. We covered the Economist Magazine. That's what we're doing right now. But this magazine hits the store shelves any day now. And remember, like in 2016 and 2015, the Economist Magazine covers, it's not only the cover. In 2016, the real interesting stuff was inside the magazine. They had a calendar, and there was all this chaos, tanks going into the national parks, which we actually saw. There were gold-colored tanks that were used to stop the protesters at the Dakota pipeline thing. And if you Google that and then compare that to the gold tanks going into the national parks in the 2016 magazine, it's almost identical. It's crazy how much that lines up. But the new magazine comes out. I'm going to put out a special report on this one. I'm going to spend some time. I'm thinking like 50 pages of stuff, because there's so much there that can be read into, and it's not all going to be right, but some of it is, and that's the stuff that's going to blow everybody away, because what it means is that either the people who run the Economist magazine, the Rothschilds or whoever, they either are the ones doing these things, false flags, and making these things occur, and they have inside scoop on what's going to happen in the future with some kind of technology they're using. Is it remote viewing? Is it something else? But it is clear that they know it's going to happen. Now, most people think, oh, that's because they're doing it. This is their plan for us this year. They're going to cause this false flag. They're going to do that. I think that's a part of that. But I also think, there's things that they couldn't have known about, and they didn't. I don't think they had done in the previous magazines So it might have to do with remote viewing as well. Anybody skeptical of that should check out remote viewing. The Farsight Institute does a lot of stuff they're doing month to month. What's going to be the biggest news event of every month? So go on YouTube, go to Farsight Institute, and check out those videos, because it's really interesting what they put out as the big news story of the month, and they put it all out the month before. And then most of them have come very close to what the big news story was. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Sorry for the augmented chat. We had to do it on Tuesday because of I'm going to start celebrating Turkey Day early, and we have a lot of thanks to give, I believe, because we are in the process of changing our government. And if you look at the $100 bill, the new $100 bill, you look right above the 100, and they put right there on the bill the part about overthrowing your government when it gets out of hand. And that's exactly what we're doing right now. So was it foreshadowing what was going to come? Absolutely. Did they know about it? Absolutely. Was the Federal Reserve involved in designing that bill and putting that in such a prominent place, written in gold right above the 100? Absolutely. Go to my site, roadtoruta.com, and I'm doing a full video on the hidden meanings in the new $100 bill. It's a good one. Should have that out probably after Thanksgiving. And hopefully V got this recorded, and I hope you guys have a great time. Remember, we are winning this battle. The good guys are winning, and we will win in the end. It might be a little struggle to get there, but buy your gold and silver, buy your Bitcoin, buy the mass quantities, and keep it in a wallet outside of the system. If you're in Coinbase and holding your money in Coinbase, don't do it. Print out a paper wallet and hide it in your safe. And it's so important, because companies like Coinbase and any third party holding your Bitcoin, your gold, or your silver will not survive this crash. So that's my advice. Go to roadtoruta.com. I have a new I'm working on new YouTube videos, so go there and subscribe to that, because I want to put a couple out every week. And then, of course, go to roguemoney.com and hang out with V. He has a great show every morning. And that's all I got for you. I'm signing off, and we'll be back with V very soon. I'm sure he'll have plenty to say in tomorrow's Mornings with V. Good night.